My name is Laurent Lachal. I am part of the software group at Ovum. Ovum is an industry analyst company. We cover telecom, media, and software. It's a new thing. There's a lot of interest in it. And it's hyped up by a lot of vendors. And that's absolutely normal. That's the way it goes in the IT industry. The IT industry is the fashion industry. It likes new things. And so containers are the new black, basically. So is there hype? Yes. Is that hype overblown? Are people making too much of it? Of course, by definition, it's hype. On the other hand, as new technologies go, this one is fairly impressive by the amount of interest it gets, as well as by the amount of support it has garnered from vendors. Anybody who is somebody in the IT industry is now behind containers, has weaved containers into their product portfolio or their roadmap. You have public cloud providers. Amazon Web Services has its own container-based service. Microsoft is preparing its own container-based service as well. So not just in the public cloud context, but also in the private cloud context. OpenStack is moving towards containers. VMware is moving towards containers. VMware doesn't have one new platform, it's got two new platforms. It's got one platform which tries to marry the old and the new, the old WebSphere technology with containers, and a completely new platform that doesn't have the legacy of the WebSphere technology and basically compete head-to-head with a whole bevy of startups, the likes of CoreOS, Docker, which has moved from creating this packaging specification, a registry that goes with it, some tool to manipulate the package, into more orchestration with Docker Swarm. Mesosphere. So it's all, you have Rancher Labs, you have a whole army of startups trying to be the new platform provider in a container world. So yes, so you have the startups, you have the incumbents who are weaving containers within their legacy offering as well as their new offering. So in the case of VMware, vSphere, and an independent platform. In the case of Microsoft, it is Azure, but they're also weaving containers onto Windows, the Windows operating system. So differently, I mean, you will not be able to avoid containers because as far as, even if you're not interested in them right now, whomever you are currently using for your IT systems, that vendor has already something around containers or will soon have something for you to use. So is there hype? Yes. Nevertheless, the development of containers has been absolutely impressive. Does it mean that they are going to take over the world tomorrow? Absolutely not. There is a huge amount of things to be done, not just in terms of technology, and the technology is maturing fast, but also in terms of process being in place, in skill to be developed. That's why a lot of people use containers in the context of virtual machines, because they have the skills to manage virtual machines, and therefore it's not a stretch to use containers in that context. It's much more of a stretch to use a new a relatively immature platform like Mesos, for example. Yeah, and there's a lot of people betting on that. Google, who has been doing containers for a long time, is kind of betting on containers to catch up with the likes of Amazon Web Services and Microsoft in the public cloud context. And indeed, it will help it a little bit, but in itself, absolutely not be the reason why they eventually do so. In order to do so, they need to really understand the enterprise, to reach out to the enterprise, to talk to the enterprise, and that will take time. Similarly, so besides the skill to manage the new technology, ISVs need to come up with new licensing scheme for containers. And we all know that they have taken years to adapt their licensing scheme to the normal virtualization. So they have now another challenge. So the challenges are all level: the technology, which is immature, the skill, which are rare, the process that needs to be in place, the business models, things like licensing that need to be done, the ability to talk to, in the case of Google, it's not about containers, it's about how you talk to an enterprise audience, which is Google is trying to do through other means, like hiring Diane Green to head their new cloud activities. So is it hype? Absolutely. Is it going to happen tomorrow? No. But it is impressive, and it is likely to take off relatively fast in the next 5 years.